Hello everyone. For the second semester, I am going to handle the international business CMH 456. So as usual, let's begin with the objective of the paper. Familiarize the students with the functions and the practice of the international business. So under the business economics, I have spoken about the Indian economy, the procedures and what are there in the Indian economy and all. And from now onwards, from this particular semester onwards, I am going to speak in international, enable them to get a global perspectives on the issues related to FDI, foreign direct investment. Means a personal investor or an individual investor is directly investing in any of the foreign countries. It may be a capital inflow, means some of the foreign investor is investing in our economy or some of the Indian investor is investing in some other economy. So both are the chances. Forex market, foreign exchange market it is. So in international trade, as you know, there is the existence of the several currencies and exchange of those currencies are also needed, right? How the forex market transactions are dealt and the globalization concept. So there is nothing new for you guys because you have already studied the international trade and finance under your third sem of the BCom. So let's see the outcomes also. Expose students to the various concepts and business models of the business industry and commerce. So different business models you will get to know and various concepts of the international business you will get to know. Then familiarize the students with the practical, social, economical, legal and technological environment of the international business. See, in your syllabus, the PESTLE analysis, political, economical, social, technological and the legal environment is not mentioned, but in your outcomes that is mentioned. So that's why we are going to speak about the PESTLE analysis too, which is a very important topic and almost all the concepts are comes under this particular PESTLE analysis. So let's see unit 1, international business environment. So first of all, nature, scope and the importance of the international business environment, tariff barriers and the non-tariff barriers. You know, the tariff means the tax and non-tariff barriers are the non-tax barriers. Okay, barriers are the restrictions. Okay, so if we are putting a more and more taxes for any of the imports, then it is treated as a tariff barriers, and if we are putting the non-tariff barriers, non-tax restrictions, then it is called as the non-tariff barriers, which you are already studied in the business economics itself. Then foreign trade policy is also the balance of payment and its problems. So this one we are going to study in detail in the fourth sem, but here also you will get to know some of the ideas regarding the balance of payment. Okay, balance of payment particular topic itself is there in your syllabus as a one particular unit. An overview of the international trade theories. So regarding international trade theories, there is classical viewpoint and the modern viewpoint. So classical viewpoint says international trade is a special transaction. It is a separate transaction. We cannot apply the rule of the domestic transaction for the international transactions. Okay, so that's why there is a need of the separate international trade theory, whereas the modern viewpoint says there is no need of any separate international trade theories because the international trade is a special case of the inter-regional trade. Okay, so there are a few theories are given and we are going to study those theories. Okay, then international business decision unit 2, it is where we are going to study about world trade environment, globalization, historical background of the globalization, drivers of the international business decision. So what are the factors or what are the aspects which will affect the international business decisions. Okay, and reasons for the firm to go abroad. So these all are the motivations to go abroad, why you are going to expand or why you are going to enter into the international business or international economy. So these all are the motivations or the aspects which will influence you to go for the international economy. Then the globalization and developing countries. So what are the effects of the globalization on the developing countries? So if you observe the Indian economy itself after 1991, there are a lot of developments, right? There are a lot of MNCs and TNCs came to Indian economy, and there are a lot of companies which entered into international market because of the globalization, and even we can say because of the LPG policy. The changing demographics of the global economy. So in fact, under the economics, demographic means it's nothing but the features of the population. Okay. So here the demographics of the global economy means is nothing but the features of the global economy, and what are the changes in that in the recent years. So that is also should be studied under this particular unit. Global economy, the globalization debate and anti-globalization protest. It is nothing but the arguments for and arguments against the globalization. Globalization and national sovereign, nothing but what is the effect of the globalization on national security and all some of the security aspects. Globalization and the world's poor and managing the form in the global scenario. So the globalization and the world's poor countries, one topic, and another one is managing the firm in the global scenario. How will you manage your firm or your enterprise or your company in the global scenario? How will you meet the global standards? So the next unit is managing global business risk. It is little bit of the management concepts. Year you might be studied about this enterprise risk management, and there are few key elements or key involvements of the enterprise risk management. Then we are going to study the steps, strategic risk assessment. So this is little bit regarding the financial management concept. Then exim policy and foreign exchange management. Okay. So how will you manage the foreign exchanges, or how will you manage the different currencies? The unit 4, foreign exchange market. So here we are going to study the functions of the foreign exchange market, the nature of the foreign exchange market. So foreign exchange market is nothing but the exchange of the different currencies. As an international business, you are definitely the trader in the many countries, and obviously you should trade in the home currency of that particular country. Okay, for example, if you are Indian company and if you are trading in US, then you cannot deal in Indian rupees. You should deal in the US dollar itself, because you are selling or buying the products, or you are paying your employees in US dollars since you are in US, right? So while you are reporting in India, while you are writing your books of accounts, then obviously for Indian government you should report in Indian rupees itself. Is it? For that the accounting standards we say it as IFRS. There are many things which is mentioned, but we are going to manage these exchange rates, right? In what exchange rate you are going to convert the transactions, and how will you mention in your books of accounts. So these all things comes under the foreign exchange markets. Here foreign investment flows and the barriers. So foreign investments, so it may be inflow, it may be outflow. So some of the barriers are there. Currency convertibilities, how will you convert the currencies? Capital account convertibility, current account convertibility, exchange rate convertibility is there. Appreciation and depreciations of the currencies. Okay, home currency appreciation, home currency depreciation, foreign currency appreciation, foreign currency depreciation. So those aspects we are going to study with examples. Then premium and discount, foreign currency features. So what are the features of the foreign currencies? Okay. So some of the aspects, what are the foreign currencies regarding the reserve currencies. So what is the symbols, how those currencies are transacted or indicated in the international economy. Revenues and the pricing strategies, we are going to study this. Purchasing power parity theory is one of the important theory to find out the exchange rate. Then rupee dollar convertibility background. So this is regarding the relationship of the US and India. Direct and indirect codes. So this one also we are going to study under this particular unit. Then unit 5, regulatory environment of the international business, where we are going to study few of the regulations and those institutions. So international trading environment, bilateral, trilateral and multilateral treaties. So So treaties is nothing but the agreement bilateral between two countries, trilateral between three countries, and multilateral between many countries. Okay, under international trading environment, we are going to study the Pestle analysis too. International economic institutions. So few of the institutions like GATT, ASB, WTO, BRICS, UNCTAD, IMF and IBRD, where the GATT is replaced by WTO, World Trade Organization. Then international law regarding aspects international trading arrangements of India, Pakistan and China. See, the relationship between these three countries are not good. Is it? The international relationship between India and Pakistan and India and China is not good. So we are going to study about the relationship between India and Pakistan, India and China, and Pakistan and China, and what is the effect of the relationship of the Pakistan and China to the India. Okay, so these aspects we are going to study here. Then free trade areas and regional economic integrations we are going to study under this particular unit. Then the last unit, it is multinational in international business. So multinationals, in short, it is called as MNCs, and even it's called as the TNCs. There is a slight difference between MNCs and TNCs where we are going to understand under this particular unit. Then we are going to study issues in investment, technology transfer, pricing, regulations, international collaborations and strategic alliances, the same thing. Okay, so it is nothing but strategies to enter to the international market. Okay, the defenders and the critics of the MNCs and TNCs. So this is arguments for MNCs and TNCs and arguments for against MNCs and TNCs. Then comes the corporate social responsibility. See, this is a very important role where companies are using the resources of the environment, they should provide something back to the society and environment. Even in India, after 2013, the corporate social responsibility activities are mandatory to be performed by the companies, and we are going to study regarding that particular CSR activities in next time. Okay, for this particular subject, you can refer International Economics by D.N. Mithani, which is not mentioned here, and International Business by K. Ashwatappa, and even you can go for the P. Subbarao International Business Texts and Cases. Okay, so P. Subbarao, if you need more points, you can go for this particular book, and my major reference is International Economics by D.N. Mithani. You can refer any of the international economics books. So that's it for today's class. In coming classes, we will begin with the first unit.